Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Wrestling Mark Raw review. We haven't done one of these in a while because Raw sucks, but since this was the go-home show of Monday Night Raw for Hell in the Cell, we decided we'd review this. So I am Giovanni, XXOMG, XX with Alvin Alpha, aka Alvin. We're going to be reviewing the October 20th edition of Monday Night Raw. So let's get right into it. We started off with the Authority coming out, and the Hell in a Cell was above the ring. So I think any blind man could predict that that would be used later on. So Triple H is on the mic, and he, first of all, like really fast announces that John Cena and Dean Ambrose will team up to face Randy Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins in the main event in a street fight handicap match. And then he basically starts to hype up the Hell in a Cell matches, talking about there being no winners, only survivors. And and he also mentioned how he's won the most of those matches. And then he does this and whatever. And then Seth gets the mic and starts talking about himself like always. Seth is so great, am I right? He calls himself the undisputed future of the WWE, and he's very confident in thinking that he will beat Dean Ambrose in the main event of Hell in a Cell. And then this is where Randy Orton steps in, saying that he is in the real main event, and he says that he will finally end this decade-long rivalry going on between him and John Cena. Thank God no one wants to see that ever again. And then Triple H butts in, saying that they're both the main event because it's a double main event. And then he announces a huge stipulation for Hell in a Cell. He announces that the winner of the match between Randy Orton and John Cena will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Pretty cool, right?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure? You seem like you don't think that's cool.
Tell me what you said again.
Tell tell you what I said again. That whole
Stutter.
thing?
No, tell me what you just said about the last
The
part of
winner of John Cena and Randy Orton will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight
Hey,
Championship.
now tell me, does that sound cool? No. Okay. Especially, I feel like okay, first of all, that gives an obvious spoiler that Cena is probably gonna win. 90% not Cena's gonna win. I mean, I thought of like possibilities of where they could go with this, but it's freaking WWE.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. So,
I had actually thought deep down that Randy would win at Hell in a Cell until Triple H said that, and I was just like, well, Cena's winning.
well, yeah, right. But I always thought like if Randy wins, it could eventually be like Paul Heyman guy thingy versus the Authority, but that's not gonna happen. You know,
Until Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins at the end fucking kicked ass, so I don't even know what's gonna go on anymore. But I believe that was it for that segment, and after
Yeah,
that,
and then we go on to a six-man tag team match between what you call the six-man tag team champions, the team of Sheamus and the Usos versus, it was supposed to be The Miz and Goldust and Stardust, but The Miz decided to let Damien Sandow go into the match, saying that it was an opportunity for him, and then Miz went on to commentary and just sat there. So the only thing I wanted to see out of this match was Damien, because Damien is absolutely amazing. And when Damien got tagged in, he got his ass whooped, but he did get a few moves in that were very Miz-like, which was the backbreaker into the knee with, yeah, right, and then the neck breaker. And he tried to go for a clothesline in the corner, but that didn't work out for him. But the match started speeding up really quickly at the end, and they did the whole everyone jumps on someone's spot, and ending with Sheamus jumping on everyone. And then Sheamus got into the ring with Damien Mizdow and started taunting for the bro kick, but Stardust came in and distracted him. Stardust got hit by the bro kick, and Damien rolled up the United States champion Sheamus and got the victory.
Stand up for U.S. champ.
Stand out for U.S. champ. And then after, the Miz started like celebrating, saying, "I won, I won." And I was just like, please, Miz, please. And I'm actually starting to like the Damien Sandow being the Miz's.
Really? You didn't like it before?
I didn't like it when it had started, and
I loved
maybe
it.
started liking it. Maybe like when Miz won the championship back. That's around the time where I started liking Damien doing it. And now I think this is pretty good opportunity for him because he's really over with the crowd where the Miz isn't. And so maybe the Miz can capture the United States Championship and then Damien and Miz could go at it. That would be pretty cool. Not really.
Really, not really.
But
That
if Damien came out on top, it would be cool. But
that would be like a big step up for Damien.
yeah, it would. But I don't want to see the Miz because I really hate the Miz.
I mean, so do I, but I really love Sandow.
Yeah, but that's why I said if Sandow were to come out on top, I would think it was cool. But if not, then it would be sarcastically cool. But we go on to the next short little segment, which is Randy Orton and Triple H backstage. And Randy Orton is basically kissing up to Triple H, saying he's going to make him proud. And he will win the WWE Championship, he says. And then Triple H confesses that making it a number one contenders match was Seth Rollins' idea. And this kind of took Randy off guard, and he said that he would leave Triple H to go thank Seth, which, why would you thank Seth? When he said that, I was like, obviously, Seth and Randy are going to start feuding soon, like we've all speculated, but this is going to be the thing that kind of, like, builds it up more, I think.
So, that was it, right?
Yeah.
So next we have AJ Lee versus Alicia Fox with Paige in her corner. Not it's never special, nothing special at all. But Alicia Fox picked up the victory after a distraction from the Paige, and Alicia Fox won. Okay. Well.
Yeah, so.
It wasn't really nothing, special.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It's basically what's been happening the last few weeks between Paige and AJ.
Yeah, but after that, we had a Randy Orton promo, and before that we had Randy Orton talking to Seth Rollins, and, it was just Randy saying he doesn't need Seth Rollins to, get on his business and all that, but this... we actually had two promos for this. So we had two promos for the main events. We had one for Dean and Seth, and then we had one for John and Randy. And I gotta say that both of them were actually pretty good, like, not gonna lie. Especially since we had a guest appearance later on, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. But for now, we're talking about Randy Orton, John Cena, and this promo was actually pretty good. I think it was good to... where I don't know, where Heyman came out, and it felt like it felt like it could have been like, it feels like now Randy is starting to feel more relevant, but I feel like it's just like more, like, I think this could be a good chance for Randy to get relevant again. And just making him lose at Hell in a Cell is probably going to make him look more weak than ever. But Randy came out, and he talked about, the usual. He's gonna end his feud with John Cena at Hell in a Cell, and he's gonna win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then Cena came out, and it's Cena, so I didn't really pay attention to what he said. But the only thing that caught my attention was when Cena. It was funny because he said the last time Randy was actually relevant was in 2002, and I believe that was referred when Randy said that they both debuted in 2002, I believe.
Oh man.
So, I, but after that, Paul Heyman came out, and that's what that's where he got, try to get in each other's heads with Orton and Cena. But it was a cool ending. Heyman eventually got in the head of Cena, and then eventually Cena went for an AA, but he just put him down. But Randy hit the RKO from Cena, which we saw from like a mile away.
Michael Cole didn't.
Well, obviously, nah, everybody saw that from a mile away.
RKO out of nowhere.
Michael Cole has to say that. But the thing was, when Randy RKO'd Heyman, that was the thing I couldn't see from a mile away at all. Like, that was cool. Like, we had two, like, out of nowhere finishers that we didn't really see coming throughout, on this night. So, I think that was a pretty good promo, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining to see Paul Heyman basically get RKO'd. That's, yeah. And then I mean, personally, I don't like Randy Orton and Cena facing each other anymore.
I don't think anybody does. It's alright.
So this promo was like for me until Paul got RKO'd.
Yeah, that was.
I actually did predict it though, because when Cena put him up on his shoulders, I was like, we've been through this. Cena's too good of a guy to do it, kayfabe wise. And then he put him down, and Randy hit the RKO, and I was like, okay, now what? Randy's not going to just let Paul Heyman walk away. And then he hit the RKO. I was like, oh, okay, good. So, after that, we went into the next match of the night, which was a pay-per-view classic. Rusev versus Big E. And obviously, Rusev wins. Why wouldn't he? And then Lana starts cutting a promo about stuff and things. And then she says, everyone please rise for the true red, white, and blue. And the flag doesn't fall at first. So they're kind of like, what the... And then Big Show shows up on the screen doing these horrible faces, laughing and stuff. And then the United States flag falls down in the background, which gets Rusev pretty upset, and the music's playing, and everyone's happy, and they're chanting. Then Rusev taunts, like, if he's gonna pull the flag down, which I honestly wanted him to do. I don't know if that makes me a bad person, but I wanted him to pull it down. Like, so
what?
bad.
That doesn't make sense. You always said to me, like, oh, Rusev should have done that. I mean, Big Show should have not done that with the Russian flag. What is the difference?
I said it because I know that if Rusev was to do it, the Americans would be upset. So, what makes it okay for Big Show to do it? But Rusev's a heel. And since Big Show did it, I think it gives Rusev a reason to be able to do it. So I honestly wanted him to rip it down, and I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not, or un-American in any way. But he doesn't pull it down because a man in a soldier outfit rolls into the ring.
He couldn't even get in the ring at first.
Yeah, he couldn't. At first, I thought it was like, what's his name, Jamie Noble, for whatever reason, because I thought it looked like a suit to me, like just a normal, like tan suit. And then when he stood up and the security guy was like holding him down, then I realized, oh, that's a soldier guy, I guess. And then Rusev super kicks him, and everyone's like, oh my god, and I'm just like, are we supposed to believe that that's a real soldier? Okay.
Yeah. I I think I heard that like the like color like yeah well, obviously it was a fake soldier, and I heard it was like apparently the flag was like in the wrong place or
Oh
whatever,
wow, that's embarrassing.
but
Wow.
that was
Did he have a
very.
did he have a name badge or anything? Because I don't think I saw
I don't
his
think I saw one
name.
either. Especially since he
God damn
got
it, WWE.
especially since he got super kicked in the face,
Yeah.
but I
So
don't even know what to feel about this segment actually.
yeah, that when he got super kicked, I was just like,
Yeah, I was like,
I know I'm supposed to feel bad and all, but can I really feel bad after
like
with this feud? Like, I
I
get it. You're trying to make us sympathize for the for the United States, but I'm not a big fan of pro United States versus anti United States feuds. So I'm just like not into this at all.
yeah. What if like you know how they show like the army people like sitting in the crowd like once they come out back from commercial?
Yeah.
What if they did that and then they all came in the ring and then they all got their ass beat or whatever?
They all got super kicked.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but I think that
I
would
think it would have been more believable, like
yeah.
if yeah, what you say, like maybe earlier in the night they showed a guy in the crowd with like his child and he's dressed in the soldier outfit, and then during the Rusev match afterwards it
Oh,
happens.
I didn't even think of the child.
That would be more believable because that would make me feel more sympathetic, thinking this guy's a soldier of the United States and his child is here with him. Like, but they just didn't do it good enough for me to think, oh, so sad. Like, if it was done better, maybe I would have been like, oh, that was pretty smart of them to do. But just not this time around.
Not at all.
Yeah. So they go to commercial break, and afterwards, Big Show is in the ring, and he has a microphone. He went from very joking Big Show on the screen to very angry Big Show very quickly. And he basically says, you don't disrespect an American soldier. And he says that Rusev's 15 minutes in the WWE is up, and he basically calls him out. And when Rusev doesn't come out, Big Show says, okay, I'll go back there for you. So he starts walking up the stage, and I actually didn't think they were going to show anything from what goes on, but Big Show was shown backstage. He asked someone, oh, where's Rusev? And they pointed to the direction. And then Big Show, for no apparent reason, kicks down the door of Rusev's locker room, and there is no one in there, ending that very bad segment.
But I believe that was it. So,
Yeah.
wow, I get all the great matches. But next we have Brie Bella versus Summer Rae.
What about what happened before? The
What?
actually more interesting
Oh,
segment of the night.
yeah. I'm sorry, but we have Dean Ambrose. And I don't know what's going on with the Cena. They're like doing like some major advertising here because I don't know why. I guess I was just really bored. I was watching the JBO Not Cole show, and they were actually advertising the See No Evil 2 movie there too. It was weird. Now we have Dean
Wow.
Ambrose on Raw advertising the movie, kind of.
It's
But
funny because he's facing Kane later in the night.
so basically, Dean Ambrose is saying he's studying for the for his match later with Kane and the Authority and all that. But Dean Ambrose is just eating popcorn. He's gobbling away, and then Cena comes in, and eventually Cena's like, This is how you train for a match? I mean, that was kind of like me too, but fucking Dean Ambrose, he doesn't give a shit.
He really doesn't.
But they eventually start talking about how Dean Ambrose is like he eventually said Dean Ambrose is like Batman, and then John Cena is like Superman. And then I like how John Cena like he like shot on the internet like how because I see some people on Twitter saying like Dean Ambrose is so much like the Joker, and Cena actually just said that like you know you're not the Batman, you remind me more like of the Joker, and and
Yeah,
then
they made me make this like look on my face like, oh shit, did he really just say that?
like
Like,
and then Dean
oh.
Ambrose went to say why so serious? Okay, that actually gave me a small chuckle, because it's Dean Ambrose. But on to the amazing match we have Brie Bella versus Summer Rae. So Brie wins with a facebuster, and I can tell Brie has gotten a lot better. Same with Nikki. So I gotta say, like, hopefully they go, they do a decent match at Hell in a Cell. But Brie, okay, I don't know why I'm gonna mention this, but like Brie eventually got in her like comeback thing. So she had
Brie mode.
she,
She got into Brie mode.
yeah, but she hit the missile dropkick, and she automatically ran and hit the facebuster. And I thought it was like a regular move, and then that was it. I was like, what the? I was like, what the hell? Like it felt like that was weird. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. But eventually they ended up showing Nikki watching her match, and it's hype for Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella at Hell in a Cell, and the stipulation is
Oh, I hate
the
the stipulation so
I
much.
hate
It's so
those.
stupid.
Like it feels like another. If Cena loses, he joins the Nexus. Okay,
Yeah, basically.
and if the loser becomes the winner's servant for 30 days, and if the person does not comply, that person has to leave WWE.
You know what that means, right?
That
We're gonna have a month of shitty personal assistant segments.
segment, yeah, like the same with Cena and Barrett. I
It's
don't
gonna
know
be
if you
really
saw that,
bad.
but like there was so many stupid stuff. Like
Yeah,
Cena,
that
give
was
me
really bad.
a,
I'd love the Nexus, but that was really bad.
give me a water, a glass of water, and then like Barrett just throws the water in his face or whatever. Okay, that's cool.
Those-
But the thing is, we have another obvious win. Like, are we actually gonna have Randy win and go on to face Brock Lesnar?
Are we
No.
actually gonna have Nikki Bella be personal assistant to Brie Bella? Is that what you're
Obviously,
thinking? I hope that's what you're thinking.
obviously, no. It's like, why do we even, why even have the stipulation if you're gonna make it so obvious? And maybe sometimes they like out of nowhere have the other person win, but it's not like
It doesn't happen very often in the
yeah.
WWE.
Like the last time I can remember was in April.
The last time I can remember was the streak, which
That's
would be in April. Yeah.
yeah. I said in April. That's what I meant. Like everybody thought Brock was gonna win. I mean lose, and he won. But like if Brie wins, I don't think anybody would care. I mean, I would care if Randy would win because I'm actually like I'm trying to get with Randy right now. I'm trying to like stick with him. But enough of that. Next we have Dean Ambrose, and he's about to come out, and he has the two bags. And what the fuck is this? What? Oh, you know what the fuck it was? It was like he got out a dummy And there were, oh my god.
That was amazing.
And he was making like puppet jokes, and it was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And I mean, I don't want to say it was awkward because it really wasn't, but
I think it really was. The crowd was very dead actually during this segment, I
I,
feel.
I don't want to call it awkward because I actually was entertained. It wasn't like when you have an awkward conversation with a person and you're just like, okay, like this actually was actually entertaining, but it's like, okay, I don't know how to react to this. It's like, I mean, it was pretty funny, but it was pretty weird. But the thing is, it's like you would expect that because it's Dean Ambrose and he has this whole crazy gimmick. So I found that actually really cool. So, but eventually Seth comes out, and then, well, with the puppet, Dean actually ripped the hand out, and he made another joke. Let's give Seth Rollins a hand. He throws a hand. Like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my god. But Seth eventually, I don't even know. I feel like Seth, I gotta say Seth has like improved on the microphone a lot. I've always looked at their promos as Shield, and they were all like, of course Dean was always the best one, and Seth, like I could tell he progressed on, and then Roman Reigns was always straightforward as fuck.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I'm gonna kick your ass. He drops the mic. That's it. But Seth comes out and he bashes on the crowd and he bashes how I don't even know about the sport thing. I'm not very into sports other than wrestling, if you even count that. But
Are you
eventually,
not sports entertained?
I'm sports entertained right now. But eventually, Mick Foley comes out, and that's when I was really sports entertained.
I marked out. I'm not gonna lie, because I love Mick Foley.
I love Mick Foley too, and he cut this. Like, oh my god, Foley still has it on the mic, man. Like, especially, I like how when he came out, he was like, "It's great to see you again." And he looked up to the cell.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty cool. And he was talking about how, like, I feel like they need to live up to the hype, especially since Foley, I don't want to say pressured them, but I feel like he motivated them.
He set the bar,
Yeah,
basically.
like, I feel like Seth versus Dean with no interferences, hopefully, and no authority. It's just going to be them. This will be one amazing match, and this is why I want them to be the main event. Like, the main event. Even though the other match is for the number one contender, that's fine, okay? I think we had that on one pay-per-view before, and it wasn't the main event, but it's fine. Just have Cena and Orton before, because I find it unfair if Cena and Orton are in the main event, because for one, Cena was a loser, and two, we've seen this match so many times, and three, Seth and Dean have been going at it for months now. It's always been Dean versus the Authority. Dean had it first, so I feel like Dean and Seth should have, like, the main event. But I don't even know. I feel like there could be an interference. I feel like, yeah, when I say there's going to be an interference, probably, it's probably going to be a main event, especially from what happened at the end. But, we'll talk about that when we get to that. But Foley talks about how your scars from the match would not be gone after you leave the arena and all that. It's Hell in a Cell, and they're gonna enter hell and all that. So Foley cuts an amazing promo, and I am more excited than ever for this match. I feel like this match is gonna probably be their best match, and they've had a lot of good matches, but I feel like this is gonna be their best match, and I don't even know if they're gonna end the feud here. I don't know at all. Maybe they could go one more with Seth and Dean at Survivor Series. I think that's the next pay-per-view, but we'll see.
I believe it is, and
Yeah.
I hope that this isn't the end of this feud, because it's really good and amazing, and for whatever reason, honestly, Mick Foley gave me that push that made me a little more excited for this match.
But I feel like this could be the end because it could be like like Dean could do something very super crazy that takes Seth out or like destroys Seth, and it could be like the end, like you know, like how CM Punk ended it with Paul Heyman. I mean, it wasn't big, but it was like it was alright to end it, I guess. Like CM Punk GTS, Paul Heyman on top of the cell.
And Paul Heyman is afraid of heights,
Yeah,
so
I guess. I mean, it's Paul Heyman, so I guess that's the worst they can do for the manager without him getting physically super hurt. But that was about it.
maybe Seth can be thrown off the top of the cell like 3 times. That
Oh,
would that would be horrible.
Seth like falls. Oh, I think the cell is higher now, isn't it?
It definitely looks a lot higher.
Yeah, I feel like it is higher.
Yeah, it looks a lot
I
higher.
in the promos it said it was like half a mile. So
Half a mile high. That's
like
that's
yeah,
insane.
that is insane. But next we have Cesaro versus Dolph, and it was a good match. And obviously Cesaro's gonna get the title shot here. I think in kayfabe this was the match that Cesaro needed to get the win to get title opportunity. But Cesaro eventually wins after a really good match, actually. But Cesaro wins with a huge uppercut. Like, oh my god, that uppercut killed him. Like, and Dolph's, of course it's Dolph, and he's gonna sell it, like, amazingly. But Dolph gets struck with that uppercut. I believe Cesaro, like, Dolph went for, like, a punch or whatever, a clothesline. Cesaro ducked and hit the huge uppercut. But after that, Cesaro hits a neutralizer on Dolph, and Cesaro looks strong. And I'm really, really excited for this match. Really. And it's going to be a great match, honestly, especially since it's a pay-per-view. I remember when we were talking about Cesaro and Sheamus, and you were like, you think Cesaro and Sheamus is going to be a good match? And eventually was, like, if I think, and Dolph is a very good
Yeah,
wrestler,
Dolph will put on a good match with
and
Cesaro.
Cesaro is phenomenal as well. They're both equally good, but like in different ways, which is like amazing. But um, that was it, and eventually Cesaro is probably gonna get a title shot. So I believe it's gonna be Cesaro versus Dolph for the Intercontinental Championship, and then it's gonna be Miz versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. I believe they switched it, right? They like switched the
Yeah, pretty much the contenders.
yeah, but it's whatever. I
I
don't
like it.
I don't think Sheamus versus Miz is gonna be a good match, except for Miz now.
Yeah, except for Damien, like, on the
Like,
sidelines.
I was just gonna watch him more, but
I actually predict, if it isn't already, that that'll probably be the pre-show match.
no, they already have something with the pre-show. It's gonna be the Mizdow show
The Mizdow show.
with special guest appearance of the Miz.
That's horrible. um,
So, oh
wow.
yeah, so next we have the Authority backstage, and it's about to be the main event, which you will get to. But Kane, Randy, and Seth and Triple H are all backstage, and they're all fighting, and they're all all that. They're arguing, and Triple H is kind of trying to break it up, but Kane, he yells like super loud, and the whole arena is super quiet. Like, damn. And then Kane is like, "We just gotta shut up and do what's best for business."
Gay.
And they and then they all just had like a moment of silence, and they all just got super serious. But eventually they got to the main event, which was actually really, it was a fun main event, man. It was very,
It was actually a pretty good match to hype up for the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view.
yeah, especially the ending, man.
Yeah, so it was a handicapped street fight between Dean Ambrose and John Cena versus The Authority. And basically the start of the match was like super quick. I feel like most of this match, it was only Dean Ambrose and kind of John Cena who wanted to put the street fight rules into effect. Um, they basically fought the Authority out of the ring, and eventually they all got into the ring. And I thought it was pretty stupid that you had to tag in and out in a street fight. Like, that doesn't
Um,
really make much
it's a
sense.
tag team match.
Yeah, but it's a street fight.
Yeah, still, it's a tag.
It could be
Tag.
tornado tag.
But they didn't make it tornado
It
tag.
should have been.
We're not talking about how it should have been. We're talking how it was.
Okay, well, I thought it was stupid that they had to tag in and out. So when they actually did wrestling stuff and got away from the weapons, the Authority basically was like overpowering Ambrose and keeping them in their corner and whatnot. A lot of tags in and out, and the commentators made sure to make note of the fact that Randy Orton and Seth Rollins were actually playing nice together and were actually tagging each other and, doing that kind of stuff. And then eventually Dean fought back and was able to tag in Super Cena, and that's when Cena was able to hit his 5 moves of doom, which include, like 2 shoulder tackles, a, suplex, and then the 5 knuckle shuffle, which he hit all on Seth, and then he hit the 5th move, which was the AA on Kane. And then Cena tried to get a table. Seth threw him into the chair, blah blah blah. And then Kane hit Dean Ambrose with the steel steps, which keeps him down for the rest of the match, basically. And then Kane sends Cena into the table, which was I guess supposed to be really amazing, but it was eh. And then Kane was just walking around the ring cluelessly, and Dean tried to get in, but he big booted him in the face. So he walks around the ring cluelessly, and then he starts calling for the cell to be lowered, and it was lowered and whatnot, and I actually thought someone was gonna return. I thought for whatever reason I thought Roman Reigns was gonna return because
The
the
hell?
lights turned a little darker in the crowd, so I thought Roman Reigns was gonna return, but it was just the cell lowering. And they made it try to look at Dean was struggling to make his way into the cell, but he did get in before it touched the ground. And then Dean hit a crossbody on all of the opponents after being tagged in. And then crazy shit happened, including Rollins being sent into the Hell in a Cell 2 times, I believe. And then Dean used kendo sticks on, I think, Randy and Kane. And then they went into the finish, which I believe was just Dean and Randy in the ring. And Randy was setting up for the RKO onto Dean. But Cena came in for the save and got him up on his shoulders for a AA. Which, he didn't hit it, did he? I think Kane came in before he could, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane came in and interrupted it, hitting the chokeslam onto Cena, and then Dean got a double arm DDT onto Kane. And then Randy Orton hit the RKO to Dean, finishing the match, giving the Authority the win. And then what surprised me a lot was that Seth Rollins... It surprised me, but I kind of saw it coming, which was Seth
No.
hitting the curb stomp onto Randy Orton, and I was just oh, I knew that was going to happen, but not really. I expected it to happen earlier on in the match. Maybe Seth hits it on Randy and then Seth goes for the pin on Dean after the RKO. That's what I thought. But
But what was weird was that the way Randy ended Dean.
The the rebound off the rope, like Dean Ambrose style clothesline, but doesn't hit the
Look,
clothesline.
like the thing is, like they had a match before, so like you would think you would learn from your mistakes, and eventually the way that match ended was the same way. And Dean eventually went for it again, and it ended the same way. And I know it's supposed to be like kayfabe, but wouldn't you think you would know not to do it again?
Maybe in their minds they're like, "Oh, that's a really cool spot."
Like, it is a cool spot. It was cool the first time. But now it's just like, why did you do it again?
Exactly.
Like,
People, when they think they got cool spots, they think they can do it over and over again.
I mean, maybe if it was like a shooting star press and RKO, but not that. Like, please. Please.
Not just the rebound off the ropes.
But that curve stomp, I actually looked away for both times. And when I say both times, I mean like I looked away for a second, and then Michael Cole was like, curve stomp from Randy Orton. I was like, what the fuck? And then, oh my god. And then I was like waiting for the replay. I look away again, and then they showed the curve stomp again. I was like, oh my god, I missed it both times.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
but the Raw was actually pretty good, actually. In my
Well,
opinion.
Raw ended with Seth Rollins on the top of the Hell in the Cell, and I was just wondering how the hell did he get up there?
Yeah, but you know, it's
The
Seth
cell
Rollins.
was closed like 3 seconds
Seth
ago,
Rollins,
but I
Seth Rollins
guess.
literally doesn't give a shit. Like Rollins, I think last time when Roman Reigns like was trapped in the steel cage, you know that night where Jericho jumped off the steel cage and
Yeah.
everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, and Seth tried to roll in and almost got impaled by the new
Then
steel cage.
Rollins just literally like got on top and he just jumped like nothing. Like he was a lot better than Jericho's, but everybody was talking about Jericho's.
Because Jericho's old.
I
He's
know
like
he's old.
40 something.
He's like, yeah, he's 40 something, but Seth hit a beautiful one, and it was just no hesitation. He didn't give a shit. But, but hopefully we'll see. I feel like there needs to be something big for what Foley said on Sunday. I'm not asking for Rollins to, fall off the stove or whatever, but I don't know what they could do. Yeah, I don't really know what to do, or I don't know, but they're the wrestlers here, and they're the ones who are the amazing wrestlers, so they'll probably think of something. But
A little blood might even be exciting. Just like,
yeah, but the only
just
time,
let them bleed and that'll be make the match a little better.
but Vince does not like blood.
God damn it, Vince.
But
Oh, stupid PG.
yeah, but we'll see. I honestly think that Hell in a Cell card looks really good right now,
Yeah.
except for like Nikki Bella and yeah, Nikki Bella and Brie Bella. That's it. And I would say Sheamus versus The Miz, but Mizdow is in there.
What about Rusev versus Show?
Oh hell no, I don't give a shit about that. But so yeah, it's only those two matches. But this round was actually pretty good in my book, actually. So I would actually rate it 6.5.
I would give it a 5.5.
Okay, I see how it is.
That's not because you chose 6.5. I'd actually thought in my mind of 5 earlier, but I decided to bump it up because of Foley. Only
Cause
because of Foley.
yeah, but that ending, I would say like it would be a 5, and then Foley would be a 5.5, and then
And
Kurt
then the
Stomp
last match would be a
6.
one point boost.
Nah, I'd say 6 or whatever, 6.5, whatever. I'd say 6. But I believe that's it.
Yeah, and that is it for this review. So, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. please, and leave a comment on what you thought about this here Monday Night Raw. And even post your predictions for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which is October 26th. Yeah, I had to go look back at my calendar. 26th. Give your predictions for that. We will probably have a video up within this week. Obviously not next week, because that pay-per-view would be over. But leave those comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe to us. That would be pretty cool. And while you're subscribing to us, follow us on Twitter as well. The links are in the description, so you don't have to just look it up. But if you want to look it up, we'll tell you right now. Alvin's Twitter is @AlvinAlpha, and mine is @WrestlingMarkYT. So, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.